Hi everybody, this is Coach Joe coming to you with another very exciting topic, maybe my favorite, and certainly the culmination of 30 to 40 years of training, Airtime Management. What is it and why is it important? Why are we talking about Airtime Management? Well, I can tell you this, it's the secret sauce of the elites. Let's go back to Airtime Management versus ground contact time. Essentially, that's what we're talking about. I told you this is my new favorite topic. It's something I'm going to be throwing myself into, and it lends itself to my life's work and even the invention of Exogen, the whole thought process. But it's not my term, and I would love to take credit for it. But the guy I want to give credit to is Coach Dennis Mitchell. Dennis, as many of you know, is a former Olympic champion, world champion, one of the very best speed coaches in the world. And when him and I connected with our partnership, and I had a lot of time on the ground with him there, and the team in Florida, I've just learned so much. I take the opportunity to learn high-speed training at a very different level from sort of what I was exposed to just with SNC. And he would talk about, and he talked about Airtime Management. These couple of quotes are really important. They're not exactly what he said, but it's more or less what he said. Dennis, I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but these stick in my mind, and I think it's really important for people to understand. I'm just gonna read you these quotes because the whole conversation today came from him, and it's something we're expanding here at Lila, and I think it's where the future of training is really going to go. At the elite level, most sprinters can more or less put the same amount of force into the ground. What separates them is not force, it's what they do in the air, before and after ground contact, to optimize that force within their particular style. And then he went on to say, Joe man, all my athletes are fast. My job is not to teach them how to run fast. My job is to help them understand why they are fast and connect them to that consistently. Now, that's some real wisdom there, but that only comes from years in the game, not only doing it at the highest levels, but coaching it. And it really got me to thinking about that whole concept. And now I understood why Dennis came to us. Dennis came to us looking at Exogen, and as soon as he saw it, he told me, he said, I knew this could help me with the technical things that I need to work on with the athletes in the air. Because we've got squats, we've got all that already. But that world is where the elites live. All right, so let's take another step back. What's the reality of sport speed? Everybody wants speed. The reality of sport speed, other than sprinting for track and field, is most of it's not done at high speed. There's a great study review done by Vieto et al. In 2020 on football. Football being a good overall parameter view of what team sport looks like. When you look at that, an average footballer, and this means soccer in the US, average footballer is running 10 to 13 kilometers in one game, all right? Of that, less than 250 meters is high-speed sprinting. That's not even 2% of the game. And less than 10% is even high-speed running. And so, why is that? Why is the rest of the game slower? Well, it's simple. It's football, not sprinting. They have a ball. And when you have a ball, speed is not your primary purpose. The game is about control. Movements are omnidirectional, and that includes up and down as well as front, back, side. Ball control is more important than speed. Passing and preparation to receive a pass are more important than speed. Everybody knows this in team sport. Possession, possession, possession. If you don't have that ball, it doesn't matter how fast you are. So now I want to bring you back to the story of my man Andrew, way back there 30 years ago, rips it up at the combine, smashes his 40 time, record at the combine, fastest guy in the field. And then he goes to day two. And day two, as you know, is very different. They put you on the field with pros. They bring in the CFL and the NFL pros, and now you start working patterns. Now they start to look at how you play the game. That's a very different experience. The fastest guy in the field calls me that night and he says, Joe man, he said, I don't understand. He said, I'm the fastest guy here, but these guys, like, they have something else. They have something else. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He said, well, I'm faster than them. But he said, man, the way these guys move, and I never forget how he said it. He goes, they have flow. And that just sunk into me to this day as one of the most important pieces of feedback and feeling and perception I've ever gotten from an athlete. And I know most of you think like, oh, flow, okay, flow, I get it, yeah, flow is this. But I've never seen anybody teach it. Now let's take a look at one of the most exciting and fascinating quotes from the modern era in sport that 100% lends itself to the conversation of flow.
Nobody can take that left-hand shot, but I tell you, he's powerful and he's fast, but precision beats power and timing beats speed, and that's what you saw there.
Precision beats power, timing beats speed. Everybody's favorite Irishman, MMA fighter, Conor McGregor. And he said that really did get a lot of people thinking a little bit more about what matters in winning. Everybody knows speed is important, but everybody who actually knows the game well knows pure speed may not matter as much as other things. How do we train those other things? So to wrap part one and get you a little excited about what's to come, one thing I've realized, what Coach Dennis was talking about, what Conor McGregor's talking about, what all of us are searching is still, I think, the holy grail of sport. Airtime management for me became the first time I heard a term that helped us understand, and when I listened to Dennis explain it to me and what he tries to do, I realized he's trying to create flow. Airtime management is a concept we can use, I think, to help describe the training experience. And there's a lot of exciting things in that training and untraining that relate to flow. Because as he said, go back to that quote, everybody puts the same effort into the ground, but what they do in the air changes champions from non-champions. And I just want to leave you with this last picture of our man Steph Curry moving to the basket. And notice just one thing and one thing only. He is not moving at top speed.
Without shooting on the floor, he's making plays for everything. Thompson out to Andre Iguodala, who's in for the first time. Curry splits the defense, drives that lane, lefty layup off the glass. Sweet move from Curry.
So folks, got one question for you out there. How do you train for that? I can tell you here at Lila, we're leading that conversation because not only do you need a different training mentality from max speed, but you need better tools. Stay tuned for part two. We're going to get excited.